What if I told you that one of the fastest growing towns on Florida's Gulf Coast just had a community win the top award at the biggest home show in the region? I'm talking about Woodland Preserve in Parrish, Florida, built by Kolter Homes, which just won Best Overall Amenity Center at the 2026 Suncoast Parade of Homes. Now, most agents would show you the pretty pictures on the move, but I think you deserve more than that. Because what this award really tells us is something much bigger about where the Gulf Coast market is heading and what it means for your money. Whether you're thinking about buying a new construction or you currently own a property along the Gulf Coast and you're wondering how this affects your position, stick with me. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's happening in Parrish, why it matters, and how to use it to your advantage. My name is Brandy Loebker, and I lead the Coffey Group across 7 Keller Williams offices on Florida's Gulf Coast. And I've spent more than 2 decades helping families build, protect, and transfer their wealth through real estate. I'm curious how many of you have actually heard of Parrish. Drop a comment below because what I'm about to show you might change the way you think about your entire corridor. So here is the community breakdown. So Woodland Preserve has a clubhouse, pool, pickleball courts, fitness center, model homes, a design studio, and much more. So let's talk about what actually won this award. Woodland Preserve is a 55-plus gated active lifestyle community in Parrish, right in Manatee County. Kolter Homes is building approximately 420 homes here with 7 distinct floor plans, ranging from 2 to 5 bedrooms, pricing starting in the 400s and go into the 700s. But the award was for the amenity center, and when you see it, you'll understand why. We're talking, again, resort-style pool with lap lanes and sun deck, a state-of-the-art fitness center, 8, yes, you heard it right, 8 pickleball courts, 2 bocce courts, indoor and outdoor gathering spaces with a full calendar of resident programming. The thing most people don't realize is that the amenity quality is one of the strongest predictors of long-term home value. Communities that invest in lifestyle infrastructure attract committed, long-term residents, and committed residents create stable neighborhoods. Stable neighborhoods hold value. It's that simple. Kolter also offers an on-site design studio where buyers work one-on-one with professional designers to customize finishes, fixtures, and structural options. Every home includes a minimum of 25 structural options. This isn't cookie cutter. This is personalized wealth building. Most people don't know this, but Parrish has quietly become one of the fastest growing areas in all of Southwest Florida. Average home price in Parrish is approximately $475,000. Lakewood Ranch is approximately $608,000, and Sarasota is approximately $630,000, while St. Pete is approximately $673,000. You're getting significantly more home for your dollar in Parrish, with the same access to Gulf Coast beaches, healthcare, and cultural assets. And the infrastructure is catching up fast. North River Ranch will include over 6,000 homes at build-out. New K-12 schools are opening. State College of Florida is building a campus on Erie Road. Retail centers like Creekside Commons are leased over 92% already. Now, let me give you the broader Sarasota-Bradenton picture because this is where it gets really interesting for both buyers and sellers. The single-family inventory, approximately 4.7 to 5 months of supply. That's a very balanced market. Pending sales are trending up significantly, and while cash transactions still represent over 45% of single-family sales in Sarasota County, the median home prices have adjusted 6 to 8% from the 2022 peak, but 40% are above pre-pandemic levels. Sellers are receiving 93 to 94% of original list price. What do you think would happen if you waited another 12 months to make your move? Because every credible forecast is showing that appreciation is going to resume, and when it does, the window you have now might close. If you're a buyer watching this, let me be direct with you. I wouldn't wait to miss out on what's happening here because you were waiting for this all along, the perfect time. Right now, builders are offering interest rate buydowns, closing cost credits, and design studio upgrades. So many incentives. Homes are spending 74 to 92 days on the market, which means you have time to do your due diligence, compare properties, and negotiate. That luxury did not exist 2 years ago. And if you're looking at a community just like Woodland Preserve, specifically, you're buying into a growth corridor that's backed by infrastructure, investment, population growth, and lifestyle-driven demand. That's the trifecta. Just imagine how you would feel 12 months from now knowing you locked into today's rates, today's pricing, and today's incentives in a community that's already award-winning. Here's something I tell every client. Florida has no state income tax. When you combine that with strategic property positioning, whether it's a primary residence, a 1031 exchange, or a property you're placing into a family trust, you're not just buying a home, you're building generational wealth. And that's the conversation I want to have with you. Now, if you're a homeowner on the Gulf Coast, Sarasota, Bradenton, Manatee County, even up into Hillsborough County, I want to be very clear. How open-minded would you be to looking at your home's competitive position differently than you did last year or even a year ago? How open-minded would you be to looking at your home's competitive position differently than you did a year ago? Because your buyer just walked through Woodland Preserve. They toured a brand new home with an award-winning amenity center, a resort, pickleball court, and a design studio where they can customize every single finish to their liking, starting in the 400s. That is your competition right now, not the house down the street, not last year's comparable sale. The sellers who are winning right now are the ones who understand that and adjust accordingly. That means strategic pricing based on current data, not what you feel your home is worth. It means professional staging that creates an emotional response, and it means marketing that positions your property as a lifestyle investment, not just a listing sitting on the multiple listing service. What would it mean to you if your family could get the property sold at the right price in the right time frame and position you to redeploy that equity into the next chapter of your wealth building strategy? That's what we do at the Coffey Group. We don't just list homes, we engineer outcomes. Look, I want to bring this back to the principle that drives everything I do. Real estate is the most powerful wealth building vehicle available to most families, period. But it only works that way when you approach it with a strategy, not emotion. When you buy in the right markets at the right time, when you hold through cycles, when you surround yourself with advisors who understand that every transaction is part of a larger financial picture. Parrish is exactly that kind of market I'm talking about, a growth corridor with fundamental demand drivers, population growth, infrastructure, investment, lifestyle quality, where the numbers tell a clear story to anyone willing to read them, and an award like the one that they received at Woodland Preserve. That's a signal, not to the mass market, but to the people who know how to read it. If you're the kind of person who makes decisions based on the data, strategy, and long-term thinking, I'd love to be part of your conversation. Here's what I'd love to do for you right now. If this video gave you even one insight you hadn't considered before, hit subscribe. I put out content every week about the Gulf Coast market, different neighborhoods, creating generational wealth strategies, and how to make your next move in the real estate market count. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you a buyer looking at this corridor, or are you a seller wondering how I can compete? I read every single comment, and if you want a direct conversation about your specific situation, whether it's buying new construction, selling your current home, a 1031 exchange, or building a long-term wealth plan here in Florida through real estate, the link is in the description below. I'm Brandy Loebker with the Coffey Group at Keller Williams. Let's build something that